Good morning and thank you for joining Connecting Community with Giovanni. We're very happy that you're here with us today. We have a special guest today that we will be learning so much from him, and that is Mr. Elton Alvarez. Thank you, Mr. Elton Alvarez.
Hello, how you doing, Giovanni?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for joining Connecting Community with Giovanni Mata. And just for our audience to know, Mr. Alvarez is a licensed real estate agent from JAP Realty Corp, and we would like to give you some tips about real estate. So, how long have you been a real estate agent on Long Island?
I've been a real estate agent in Long Island for about 5 years.
Okay.
I worked here in Long Island. I have my office out of Jackson High in Queens.
Okay.
But we worked all the boroughs and also all Long Island as well.
Okay. And I know that besides the 5 years, you also have experience with previous brokers in the past before you became an agent.
Yes, I have a lot of friends and families that are into real estate, and that's how my base came out of, learning from them, working different areas, with the community, a lot of the Spanish community as well. We are bilingual agency that we work multiple languages as well.
Okay, and what are some of the tips? Of course, a lot of people have their homes. A lot of people are planning on buying their homes, like students who just graduated from college and they started to work after a few years, and what are some of the tips that they have to take in consideration before buying a home?
Well, my first recommendation, like a young adults, and they want to purchase a home, I tell them, select an area where they want to live, a neighborhood that they feel comfortable with. Then, after they do that, go to a bank and see what they qualify for. What kind of mortgage they qualify for, so I could go to work and find a home what they could afford, what they feel comfortable with, and the bank is going to give them a letter saying how much they could afford. Then I could start working with that dollar amount and look for the proper home for them.
Okay, so what about those families, for young adults, but we also have families that probably have worked for years, and the children are on their teenage now, and they say, we'll probably get a home now, for us to be comfortable and for us to have our own place. When we have some sort of families already established and they wanted to buy a home, besides being that process, what are some of the tips that they have to take in consideration on looking for the neighborhood? Will the school district be a factor they will have to take care? The amount of taxes that on those areas paid? Or what are the things?
Yeah, family members that have children already, very important, find a comfortable school district that you feel comfortable with. How big is the house? How big is your family? It's very important. So what I recommend is, let's search in the neighborhood that you want. Tell me what you're looking for. What can you afford, so we could get to the right house, for the dollar. If the family is big, so we know we need a bigger house, what kind of school district. I also could find out what type of school district it is, what school district in the state of New York is rated as well. We could do a lot of different areas. There's a lot of programs in the real estate agency and mortgages. All you need to do is give me a call. We get to the right person to find you the right mortgage for you, so we could help you get into your dream home, what you like.
Correct. Yeah, and now a lot of people say, we know the fiasco that the real estate lived in about a couple of years ago, maybe in 2007, 2008, and all of the upcoming years after that. So, but is it the proper time now to buy a house?
Oh yes, I think this is the perfect time to buy a house. I deal a lot with foreclosures and short sales and homes that the bank owns, and we could get customers into those homes with the right price. Some of them need to be a little fixed up a little bit, that a lot of people are handy, they could fix their house the way they want to fix them, and their likes and their colors. And there's a lot of government programs as well that you could be qualified for, first-time buyers and different type of programs that we could help you and guide you with the right way to be able to purchase your home.
What is the process, the time frame? I would say an estimated amount of time that a family or an individual can take between educating themselves, looking for the right options, and taking their time. There is no need for them to rush.
That is correct. That's one of the things I say to my clients. Don't rush. Make sure this is the proper neighborhood, the proper school district, the proper home, because you're going to spend there, have a mortgage for 30 years. If you choose for, you want to be selective. Don't look at the first house. Look about multiple houses, and be comfortable with what you like.
And make a list of all of the characteristics that they want in the house. The way your work is easier.
Yes, and what I do, a lot of stuff, I send my clients, Giovanni, a lot of emails, a lot of pictures of homes in their areas, so they could select which one they want. Then we could set an appointment to go look at those homes, so we all not be wasting our time. And they will look at that house and say, hey, I would love to see this house. Let's make an appointment, let's do a walkthrough, and then they will see. Instead of looking at 100 houses, wasting everybody's time for no reason. That's why I like to see what they want, how much they want, willing to spend.
Correct.
And we go in that direction.
Okay. Now, another thing that we would like our audience to learn is what are probably some of the most common things that people ask you for when they want to buy a house. And they say, I want this. What is the most common thing that you probably would say that they ask for?
Yeah. One of the things is, how do I qualify for a mortgage? How much down payments do I have to give? What's my expenses at the time of closings? Those are the comments to see how much money they are coming out of pocket. And those things that we will guide you to the right direction. Go from there. Another thing is, how long do I have to be in my job? What's my income needs to be to purchase a home? And those all come to effect on the price of the house.
Okay.
We want to make sure we qualify for this house. That's why the best thing to do is first, we go to a lender to find out what we qualify for, Giovanni, so we could look for that particular house for that person.
Based on their income, and like you were saying, it's not necessarily for them to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's really based on their income, with a mortgage that is affordable to their income and that is matched to their income.
Yes. We're very important for us to know what's the income for, because it's good for the mortgage company to set something up for them, or the bank that they.
You also with the attorney that you work under with Mr. Attorney Jose Polanco.
Yes.
You also do modifications at the office, correct?
Yes, we do multiple services for real estate. We do modification. We have a title company within our premises as well. All kinds of real estate transactions we help in there. Mr. Polanco also have a complete law firm that does different type of laws as well.
Correct, and then all of the real estate transactions, they can be done within the office or locally, at the office, and people can feel comfortable in a very amicable manner. That way people can feel like home, like they're buying a home, which they will be doing at that time, but making the process easier, because it could be complicated.
It could. It's a lot of things that you need to know, and it's good to hire an attorney to see everything at the real estate transaction. Knowing, what you're coming into. Mr. Polanco will do researches on the houses, make sure no liens on the houses, make sure the house is clean for us to purchase. We don't want no surprises at the time of closing.
Correct, yes. Now, another thing, what are some of the characteristics that people like to have in the home, the house that they want to buy? Like, they want a specific thing that say, Mr. Alvarez, I want this thing in the house. Is there a common thing? I'm just curious.
It's beautiful appliances as well. Men like the outdoors. The men, they want to make sure they have a garage.
Okay.
Those are the things men prefer. Garage, a big backyard. But my main thing, a woman looks at the bathrooms and kitchens.
Okay.
And houses. So we want to make sure those things are beautiful.
I think men request for a big lawn, but I think after they regret when they see the work that they have to do, and especially in the summer.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll say, "Oh, why did I ask for such a big lawn?" Right? Because I'm sure that the landscaping is a lot of hard working.
A lot of work.
Yes. Okay. But of course it's beautiful. Who doesn't want to have a big lawn, especially now in the summer? Maybe you can even have a pool. You can even have some space for the children if you have children to play, and invite the friends over. Have have all of the getaway weekends there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So people love that. So, and what are some of the characteristics that people must check on a house? The foundation of the house, the year it was built. But what are some of the key things that people must make sure that they check before they buy a house?
Well, we buy a house, a lot of bank requests, and my recommendation as well is to do engineer's report on the house.
Okay.
Make sure everything in the house, it's up to par with the state laws and city laws, county laws as well. We want to hire a company to come down, make sure the foundation, the roofing, everything is correct with the house. Also, a pest control. We want to make sure there is, the pest control company comes in and inspects your house, as well.
Okay, so those are things that are extremely needed in order for the house to be the proper house, because you may get in love with the house, you buy the house, but then you find out that there was something wrong with the foundation. There was
Yes.
something, there was a violation probably
Correct.
that was in place, and that needed to be corrected before you buy the house. That way you don't end up with that issue once the house has been purchased.
Yes, that's correct, to have an attorney to be able to do those researches for us. Does a history on the house, we do a history on the deed of the house, make sure no violations, no liens are held to the house, so we'll be able to purchase the house.
Correct. So that's why we want our audience to learn and make sure that you go out, and especially now that we are joining the spring, a lot of open houses, a lot of houses for sale, and that you can go and view these beautiful homes, and in different places on Long Island, New York City, that you can take a look and see which house may be the most suitable house, so you can give Mr. Elton Alvarez a call. Also wanted to speak to you about the firm of Mr. Polanco in Jackson Heights. You also do other things in the office, like you stated, besides modification. When it comes to modifications, what are some of the steps that people need to take, and when is a modification needed?
Well, if you're not in time to be able to pay your mortgage, you're having problems paying your mortgage, there is different programs within the banks itself to be able to lower your mortgage. So what we need to do is, call the bank, apply this application to the bank, and see if the bank is willing to help us reduce our monthly,
Okay.
payments.
Okay.
As the economy went down, banks have different programs. So what Mr. Polanco does, gathers all your information, calls the bank, and try to negotiate, a modification for you,
Okay.
to be able to something you call for and not lose your home.
Okay, and one of the things that we hear a lot sometimes, they say, oh, the bank, will probably won't help us, but I hear also a lot that the banks are really there to help the person.
Yes.
Because the bank doesn't want the house back. They want to give an opportunity to the owner to make all necessary modifications to the loan, and for the family to stay there.
That is correct. Banks do want to help the customers, but a lot of times clients are afraid to ask. But we better to ask and find out, what the bank offers. Like I said, it's a lot of programs out there. We need to find out what type of programs there is to be able to help.
To make an individual assessment with the individual, and to make sure,
Correct.
like say, going to a bank and applying, or actually having, their credit run, and see, based on their income, what is that they qualify for. Then once they have that information, they can give you a call and say, I am eligible for a certain amount of money that I can spend. I want a house in this neighborhood, and I would like to see what is available out there.
Correct.
Okay, what is I'm sure every case will be probably different, but what is the average time once a person has been pre-qualified with the information on a home? What is the estimated amount of time that takes between them having all of the pre-qualification and for them to really get into the closing process?
Purchase a new house. It takes, as fast as we get that information to the bank, and they could get us working on a mortgage, the faster we get results. They could get a lot of paperwork done immediately.
Okay.
A closing time, it could take us from 45 days, it could take us up to 6 months. Depends how fast do we work the
Okay.
thing. And the most important thing is getting a mortgage.
Okay.
That's what takes so long. As soon as we got a mortgage, we got a qualification, we find a house, and depends on what the person is selling the house for and how fast they want to move out, we could get things done within 3 months. The average time, 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Is there necessarily for people to have a really big amount of down payment? Because a lot of people are afraid and say, we're able to manage our homes in a monthly basis, but we probably may not have a big amount of down payment. We probably have some savings, but not as big as for us to put certain percentage of a down payment. Is there a minimum percentage of down payment required?
Yes, it's required 3.5% as a down payment.
Okay.
Plus a closing costs, a lawyer's fees, our inspection fees, those things are included that you have to pay for, and that's the minimum the government allows us to do at 3.5%. So there is programs out there, and that's why you need to get with the right bank to find out why we could get.
So there is programs that can waive that 3% or that will assist with that 3%? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's the down payment 3%, but the banks have a lot of things that they could help us with, each individual bank. So that's why, when we bring everything to the table, we present everything to the bank or the seller, or the house, they could help the buyer. There are different things out there for us.
Okay, wonderful. So those are some of the tips that we feel that people can take in consideration when they're buying their homes on Long Island. And we know Long Island is one of the most expensive places to live in the United States, but it's a beautiful place to live also. Whatever is beautiful, everything beautiful has a price to be paid for. So, but on Long Island we have such beautiful environment, beautiful beaches, beautiful parks, and beautiful areas. So, what are some of the areas that you have helped families to get their homes in Long Island?
Yes, I do a lot of business within Jackson Heights area, which where our law firm is at.
Okay.
And a lot of communities in Bayshore, Brentwood, Central Islip area, Holbrook as well. We do a lot of business with investors in Roosevelt, Hempstead, and Nassau County as well.
Okay. And I know you also do commercial.
Yes.
You also get involved in commercial
Commercial properties depends why you're looking for a storefront, you're looking for a warehouse, different things that we have access to, for those business people that are looking for something like that.
So anywhere on Long Island that you're looking for a property within Nassau and Suffolk County, and of course the 5 boroughs in New York State, you'll have the opportunity to help them.
Yes.
So, Mr. Elton Alvarez from JAP Realty Corp. with the attorney Jose Polanco, who also does modifications, criminal law and family law in Jackson Heights. You'll see the information on your screen. So we hope that you can feel free to reach out to them and make sure that they have the opportunity to assist you in all of the process of buying a home. So, any final recommendations for families that would like to buy their homes?
First recommendation is give me a call, tell me what you're looking for, where you want to be, and I could guide you to the right path.
Wonderful, okay. Mr. Alvarez, thank you very much for joining Connecting Community with Giovanni Mata.
Thank you.
We're very happy. Thank you to our audience for always watching Connecting Community with Giovanni Mata through the dailyblue.com. Thank you.
Thank you.